How are y'all doing this afternoon? I'm here to talk about the case that we made against two juveniles, which I will not refer to by name now because they return to the juvenile status in our estimation with the action by the state attorney's office. We work closely with the state attorney's office and with one of the child's mothers who's been briefed. And we are exceptionally pleased with the outcome of the case. And the reason we're pleased is because, as I've explained earlier, these are juveniles in a juvenile system, and they're not charged with the murder of Rebecca Sedwick. They're simply charged with aggravated stalking because the child was under the age of 16 years of age. As a result of the case being in the juvenile system, the preference is that we do what's in the best interest of the child, and that's what occurred here. I've had the opportunity to be involved in discussions and with our detectives and with the prosecutors, and as a result, we see that the children are going to get the services they need. Guadalupe, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to say that. The older one, the 14-year-old, who was the primary bullier, the one that was more aggressive, she is going to receive the services she needs, hopefully to make her a productive citizen in our community in future years. The younger, the 13-year-old, Mr. Baez, Jose Baez, has put her in counseling, and as a result, she is receiving services. That's the best outcome for juveniles, to look out for their best interests. The state attorney's office did a fantastic job. Our detectives did a fantastic job, and as a result, we are going to see that these kids receive services. And as we know, the 13-year-old already has taken responsibility and shown remorse for her actions. So with that, I will be more than happy to answer any questions, and I'm sure you have some.
Sheriff, we're hearing that both of the girls have the charges dropped against them at this point. Have you gotten word of that?
What occurs, yes, I have. What occurs in the process is there's different ways to go about this. The attorneys work with the juvenile attorneys. That information is confidential. I've had the opportunity to talk to one of the defense attorneys, and he told me that he worked out a case that was in the best interest of his child with the state attorney's office. And quite frankly, that's a diversion plan. And with that diversion plan, it's one that we agree with because it is in the best interest of the child. Ron Toward, who is the defense attorney, is a fantastic criminal defense attorney, has done an outstanding job in this case, as he does when he defends clients. And as a result, he looked out for the best interest of his client. We agree with the counseling. We agree with the diversion. Now, the state attorney's office can't release that information. I got that from Mr. Toward. I haven't had the opportunity to talk to Jose Baez, but it's my understanding that he has counseling for his client, which is exactly the outcome that we anticipated, and if you'll go back through the tapes, and wanted. So we're good. We're happy with that. Our goal is that these kids never bully anyone again, never torment anyone, and as a result, we feel like they can move forward with a productive life. It worked itself out in the juvenile system, and we're pleased with that.
Jose Baez came out today saying some very pointed things against you. He said you should issue a public apology and that you should hire an attorney and a darn good one. Do you have anything to say as a response to that?
When we make cases, we make them on probable cause. When cases are prosecuted at the state attorney's office, it's beyond and to the exclusion of every reasonable doubt. We made very strong, very good probable cause cases. Not only did we make those cases, but those juveniles went to juvenile court and the probable cause was confirmed by a circuit court judge. So we're very comfortable with the cases we made. There's always the opportunity to raise conflict in any criminal case you make. But let me make one thing perfectly clear. Criminal defense attorneys deny everything, admit nothing, and raise counterclaims. And I think you saw that. But at the end of the day, you can be sure of one thing, that if bullying rises to the level of cyberstalking, if there's a probable cause case, you can write this down. You can make sure it's on tape. We'll make future arrests, and that's a guarantee. Our goal was to create an intervention. Our goal was to bring this conduct to the proper authorities in the proper manner to make sure it was dealt with. And it was dealt with. If we'd not made an arrest, if we'd not brought this to the court system, would these children be receiving services today? And the answer is no. We were successful. We're pleased with that. Any other questions?
Sheriff, Jose Baez, one of the big complaints that he had, he basically accused you of grandstanding on this, of getting on all kinds of media, naming the girls, making a public example of them when they were so young, that basically what you did was wrong. What do you have to say about that aspect of his criticism?
Yeah, I obviously disagree with Mr. Baez. He clearly knows what the Florida Public Records Law is. The Florida Public Records Law says when you commit a felony, your name and your face is public record. Bullying is a national epidemic. This went even beyond bullying to cyberstalking. Let's don't lose focus that we have a 12-year-old child that's dead. Let me repeat that. A 12-year-old child that's dead. That child was tormented. That child was harassed. That child was beat up. There's a victim. There is the victim. And those that were responsible for probable cause, okay, for doing this, we charged. And as a result, we kept it in the juvenile system and they received services. And that's the outcome that we anticipated. But think about it. Think about it. Why wouldn't we bring this to people's attention? How many people across this state, across this nation, had a conversation with their child as a result of this and said, have you bullied anybody? Have you been bullied? It's got to stop. It is an epidemic. We had a Japanese news crew come here and interview with us. We had a news crew come from Australia because they said bullying by children and cyberbullying is a problem in their countries as well. But at the end of the day, write this down. I'm going to release public record. I'm going to comply with the law. I'm going to bring to the community's attention information that needs to be brought to the community's attention, and there's always going to be a few dissenters, and that's just the way it is.
What do you think about Jose Baez saying you should get yourself a darn good attorney?
Do you know, Mr. Baez said a lot of things that really don't deserve a response. But I can tell you one thing. When you make an arrest, when you take someone to court for criminal charges on probable cause, you have complied with the law. And that's exactly what our organization and our detectives did. They did a fantastic job. And I am here to tell you that I'm pleased with what they did. And I'm here to tell you if this set of circumstances were to occur again tomorrow, and we had the evidence we had and the information we had, we would make criminal charges again and send them right back to juvenile court. Come on, don't I have a few more questions?
Sheriff, why did you decide to go on all the national media and agree to do all the international interviews and everything?
I did that because there was national and international interest in the fact that a 12-year-old child, she jumped and died as a result of jumping from a cement silo. And coupled with that, by her mother's admission and by information and evidence we uncovered, she had been bullied in the past. And as a result, there was national interest. I didn't pay the first television station to cover me. They came to me and said, Sheriff, this is a problem, this is an event, we want you on television. We want you to talk about it. And we've raised awareness. And we help these kids. These kids wouldn't have had this help. They wouldn't have received the services they're receiving today if we had not acted. And I'm proud that we were able to make sure that they got those services.
What about the argument from Jose Baez that now these girls, because they've been so publicly vilified, will now face potential bullying in the future because of everything that's happened?
It is important for me to point out that Jose Baez said a lot of things, most of which I think is bluster, and that falls into that category. Anything else?
So no regrets?
Oh, none. Why would I regret bringing criminal charges against people who stalked? And as a result of those charges, and the suspects were juveniles, those folks now have services they would otherwise not have. And would they be off bullying someone else? I can't answer that.
Sheriff, do you regret putting their names out there?
I do not regret anything that I did because it's public record. Do you regret publishing their names? You published their names. I just made them available. Y'all put it on television. I made it available. That's what Florida law says. And interestingly enough, had I come here and said, you know, by the way, we've made these arrests, and we're going to ignore Florida law, we're going to violate Florida law and not make it available, y'all would have been clamoring all over me, and you know that. So at the end of the day, we're all in this together for a good cause. And I'm glad we did what we did, and we would do it again tomorrow because there was a law violated. We clearly, clearly showed probable cause. Arguably, we could have gone to court with it, but would that have been in the best interest of the children? I don't think so.
So you think dropping charges against the girls?
I think the right outcome occurred. Could we have gone to court? Would that have been in the best interest of the juveniles? I don't think it would have been in the best interest of juveniles to have drugged them through juvenile court and to gone through that entire process when we accomplished exactly what I said in earlier news conferences. And we accomplished that, and I'm pleased.
A bit off topic, but is there any validity to the rumor that you might be running for a congressional seat?
Do you know, I heard that rumor too, but let me tell you clearly and unequivocally. This is, you know, I could just play a tape here. All I want to be is the sheriff of Polk County. Okay? Thank you all very much. Oh, and for those who didn't hear the question, no, I'm not running for Congress. I just want to be the sheriff of Polk County. Thanks.